Here we are. It's me again, the old coach. And we're doing something very exciting. And in this book that we're doing, What a Difference a Day Makes. But this is chapter 8 of a 10-chapter book. In the last chapter we just finished, God said to me out loud, it'll be 10 times bigger next time. And we were sitting here discussing how can we talk about next time when it's just now starting next time. Everything else in the book that you've read is stuff that we've already done. And now we're going to talk about the future. And a lot of that's going to be in these next 3 chapters is about the future. And I am certainly not a prophet. I am just listening to GPS, God's purpose system. And I can't answer why, but God has spoke out loud to me 3 times. Out loud. And we've discussed that in this book. And the last chapter was one of those times when he said, it'll be 10 times bigger next time. And we're sitting here trying to figure out what in the world can that mean? And what can we do with that? Because, like I said before, I had 16,000 students. That means we got 160,000 born-agains to where they got their ticket to heaven. Now, how important is that? Because I went through years of golf was my life. I mean, I just every day, that's what we did. I had 150 employees, and we talked golf. Well, till I die, we're going to talk God. And when I try to sit and analyze that, golf and God, let's see which one's more important. Let's see. No comparison, is there? Golf's the best game that ever was. But God is the everything of our life. Everything. And he's got the ticket for the rest of our lives, plus eternity. And that's what we're going to talk about. And in the 10 times bigger next time, we want you to follow M.A.S.H, GPS, and track what's happening in the next time. How are we going to get 160,000 born again? We want you to help us. And that's called join the M.A.S.H army and become part of it. Because so many millions and millions of people are setting love in God, but not doing one thing to grow the army. And that's what we want to do, is just show the ways to do it, because that's what's going to make a difference. And it really is going to make a difference. So we need everybody to get involved with this, and that's what we're trying to put together, everything we can that makes a difference. What a difference a day makes. And in this book, in the back of it is blank pages for you to fill in your days that made a difference. But what it all starts, and that's we didn't know that. I didn't till I got to examining what we're talking about with these 10 days that made a difference in my life. And that's all awesome. But I'm a professional salesman and a marketer. That's what I've done all my life. And in all those cases, there's certain rules that just always apply. And what has applied always is the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people do 80% of the work, make 80% of the money, but they're also got the right attitude. And attitude is so huge in anything we're going to do in life. Now, it's hard to get people to get out by themselves and to witness. And when everything's right and you got everybody around you that's Christians, it's easy to talk about God. But what do you do when you're out there and something comes up in front of you? How do we generate that lead, L-E-A-D, lead, from everybody you meet, because they're sitting out there by the millions that don't go to church because they don't get fed. And here on the mountain, I've learned both ways. And God says to me about every day, feed them and they'll come. So I started that when I got here on this mountain. There was 2 animals, a short-tailed squirrel and 1 turkey. And that was the message I got in it. Feed them and they'll come. So I've probably had 100 turkeys today. I don't tell how many birds, good grief. But groundhogs. When I came over to do this video, I disturbed a groundhog sitting there eating. And I just laughed. And we have turkeys and lots of, oh, good Lord, squirrels. Just unbelievable. And we've got bears on an everyday basis right now during this season. But we've got a mama and a baby that comes every day. And, I about want to cry. And I know they're wild animals. But I still want to go out there and pick one of them up and pet it. But every day, I've got turkeys and squirrels, chipmunks, groundhogs. Did I say turkeys? I'll say turkeys again because there's a bunch of turkeys. I'm talking about all of them coming to what I call my table, and it's just a piece of ground out in front of my office where I feed. That's the table. And you hear me. All them different animals out there eating at the same time from the same table. That's right. And they are absolutely oblivious to the other animals eating there unless it's the same kind of animal they are. And it is amazing to watch them. They'll fuss at themselves. I mean, squirrel will fuss at a squirrel, a turkey, but they don't fuss across. Now, here we are, Christians, Baptist, Church of God, Assemblies, all of them. You put all of them at one table, and it's a constant argument. So we've got to simplify that. Here's the simplicity of what we do. You want to go to heaven? It's simple. Be born again. Period. You want to have peace in your life? It's simple. Be born again. You don't have purpose in your life? It's simple. Be born again. Do you want to have the power to accomplish your purpose? It's simple. Be born again. And let GPS, God's purpose system, direct your life. It's simple. And it works. And God has let me, on the side of this mountain with animals, say and look and learn what it's like for the whole world. God spreads the table for all of us. And we can all come there and eat without any argument, fussing, fighting, nothing. The simplicity of it is, I don't care what denomination, where, what, be born again. Who can argue with that? Because I can't tell you the peace in your heart when you come into a dry place. And that's what this mountain was when I got here. My wife and I walked logging trails. But we got 38 acres here. Walked over the mountains up there, and there was no animals. There was nothing. Beautiful, but no animals. And we stopped on a trail up there and prayed life. Prayed life into this mountain. and now they're here by the hundreds. And that is such an absolute blessing, but it's also a lesson. Feed them, and they will come. Hear me. Feed them, and they will come. And we're running out of daylight. We really are. This whole world is a mess. A mess. And the only solution of that, well, each one of us have got a solution, because I don't care what happens with it. I get to go to heaven. And if I die or get killed or whatever today, I get to go to heaven. And I have no fear of that, none. Now, if you don't have any fear, that's awesome. But you can't be there without fear and not be born again. So if you've got fear, analyze. Because born again will eliminate that fear. It's knowledge. Because fear is nothing but the absence of knowledge. And God will give you that peace. That's where that goes. And so, in this, 10 times bigger. And here we are going with that. And get excited. So, get excited with us. Come and join our army. It's exciting. I just love to meet you. So if you get a chance, come to North Georgia. We're in Blairsville, Georgia. Come out on the headwaters of the Notley River. We got about a quarter of a mile of Notley River full of trout. We just love it. But come see us. Ask God today, now. Ask yourself, He'll tell you, am I born again? Am I ready as if today was my last day? It's important. It's the most important thing that you can ask or do. And if you've got questions, you can call and somebody will support that online the same way. To say I love you is a mild understatement. We love you. And this is the old coach. And we'll talk again in the next chapter.